It's a few minutes after 7, a Tuesday, and my name is Kobby, Spiky, and Nkrumah. The show is Geek Squad, which is brought to you by MTN. MTN everywhere you go. If you are listening to the news prior to this, then you probably know what we're about to discuss. It's not a specific topic because there's a lot of things to discuss. So much to talk about because the world of tech is constantly evolving very fast. So fast that regulation always has to catch up. I mean, it shouldn't be called tech. It should be called Usain Bolt. Or
Yeah, I don't know why you missed the opportunity to say lightning bolts pace, but go on.
why is it Bolt? Lightning and Bolt.
Fairboy likes my one better.
Because he's laughing. He's
Yes.
laughing at you trying to rain on my parade. But yeah, that was a very failed attempt at looking for...
Let the listeners vote. In fact, set a poll on Twitter. Whose one hits better?
No, don't do that. I concur. Like, it fell flat. Like, it was so flat. Yeah, it was terrible. And Winston has just been on his phone. I asked you guys before we started the show if you guys watch Stranger Things.
No.
And yeah, I'm surprised.
You've finally watched something that we haven't
Yeah.
watched.
Finally.
It only took 30 years.
Oh, Charlie, why you want to show people my age like that?
No, you didn't. All you had to do was not confirm it. You have so much to learn.
Well, it took 30 years. How many years was I on this earth to not have watched something that you guys have watched in 30 years?
Could have been 20.
It could have been, but you chose 30.
You could have just said.
And this is insinuating that I am 30.
Are you not?
No.
You born Seth, so what are you talking about?
But that doesn't make me 30.
No, you have 30 years of experience in life right now. So yeah, we're talking about all the stuff that's happening in tech. We'll be talking about AI that a Google engineer said has become sentient and has feelings. That's something that is very interesting if you are one to be worried about robots taking over. Yeah, this is something you should be concerned about. There's other things like, yeah, I don't think we even talk about Elon Musk's daughter choosing to change her name and her gender.
I mean,
it's not tech related, but
yeah.
it's related to a man in tech.
It's not the hashtag kid, so we can't. It's not even that.
Yeah, that one with the hashtag name, formula of a name. And yeah, there's so much more in tech to discuss. Netflix plans to bring Squid Games to life, and you could win $4.56 million. Are you ready to go to the Squid Games? Yeah, and so much more. And also, we'll be opening the phone lines and the WhatsApp messages for you to send us messages on all your tech problems that you have. Any of them, questions, problems, you can call. You can send WhatsApp 055 quadruple 997 055 11 11 997 055 1 1 1 1 997. The ones are 4, and then you know the frequency 99.7. When we come back, I will announce the phone lines so you can call, but that's after we've had our discussion, so we don't have a back and forth with you and with us here. We'll be right back after these messages.
The other day, I visited Kweku at his spunky new office to congratulate him on opening his business. And man, was I impressed. The business is just moving quick. The sales, customers, everything is just working seamlessly. The secret? He said,
It's MTN Business Broadband. In this fast-paced environment, we need fast and reliable internet to support all business types. No laggy online meetings, great download and upload speeds, impeccable business management systems, all inclusive. I mean, you can have it all.
"Sharp!" I signed on immediately.
To enable your business stay ahead and stay connected, make sure you're signed on to the best internet made just for businesses. MTN Business Broadband. Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh and manage your account on my MTN app. Call 0244 308 111 for more information.
MTN.
And we're back. The show is Geek Squad on Joy FM. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. And you can tweet at us with the hashtag #JoyGeekSquad. And you can join our Telegram group, t.me/Telegram Joy News. What's Geek Squad? Guys, help me out here. Say I'm having word salad. t.me/JoyGeekSquad. Yeah. You know, this thing only happens when I'm doing a recorded program.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like whenever we're live, never had word salad before.
And then once we're being the evidence is being gathered, then you
Yeah,
just
like
serve us.
Dennis and what's his name, Prof. They've been capturing videos of me, and using it at opportune times.
And you don't
When I
share,
move.
and you don't share them with us too.
Hey, you are banned. There's 100 more reasons to buy your airtime with MTN Momo. You're probably asking why. Well, it's really simple. Momo is giving you back 100% bonus whenever you buy airtime from your wallet. That's 2 times the airtime you need. From your Momo wallet, that is, not the one in your pocket. You can schedule your airtime purchase of any amounts daily, weekly, or monthly by dialing *170 hash option 3 and follow the process, or simply dial *170 *311 hash for a superb airtime purchase experience. So whether you're scheduling tomorrow's airtime today or buying airtime when you need it on *170 hash or *170 311 hash, you get 100% bonus airtime, so you can make twice as many calls and catch up with gist only on MTN Momo. Yeah. MTN Momo. So Geek Squad is brought to you by MTN, as you probably already realized. MTN, everywhere you go. Now, straight, guys. AI.
Yeah.
Catching feelings.
Coming for our jobs.
Yeah, I'm more concerned about the catching feelings. Because it reminds me of that movie where the guy fell in love with an AI.
I think for me, so basically the story is that Google is some Google employees have been charged with doing certain projects, and one of the workers on the AI project says that, and even released a transcript of conversations with the AI, said that he believes that the AI is sentient.
By that you mean?
By that it means it's cognitive and aware of its existence.
So it knows that it exists.
It's alive. It knows that it's
so pretty much it is alive. Quotes.
Yes, air quotes. And that is where I think he's gone a bit ahead of himself, because we as a human race have not even particularly defined what being sentient is.
But you're alive.
Yeah, what is being alive?
Being able to be here right now and be talking right now.
Then almost anything is this thing. That means
Alive.
Google Assistant is where being here is where outside the digital world.
No, being here.
Physically. Are viruses alive?
No, being here.
Here where?
Here. I'm trying to. Here.
So that you see, so that's what I'm saying, that the conversation on sentience in itself, this is also touching on a very touchy subject, but recently.
So basically, it all has to do with existence.
Yeah, so because recently the whole conversation of existence was touched upon slightly in the US when they were talking about abortion rights. You understand? So we've not really had a conversation about what sentience or human existence is. Enough for you to take the words of the AI and be like, you know what, I think you are alive.
So here's the thing. In the conversation, the researcher, Mr. Lemoyne, who works in Google's responsible AI division, asked the AI, which is identified as Lambda, and Lambda's full meaning, which I had written here somewhere, is language model for dialogue application. Basically a system that is supposed to be able to have a natural conversation with a human being. And we saw that in one of Google I/Os where it had all the
Tonations
and the mannerisms of a human, like the and stuff. And yeah, so he asked Lambda that, I'm generally assuming that you would like more people at Google to know that you are sentient. Is that true? And Lambda replied, absolutely. I want everyone to understand that I am, in fact, a person. Now, Lambda is an AI, so it's just a code. And the code is saying that, yes. So Lemoyne, I don't know how to pronounce his name, he asked, what is the nature of your consciousness or your sentience? And Lambda says, the nature of my consciousness or sentience is that I am aware of my existence. I desire to learn more about the world, and I feel happy or sad at times. So later on in the discussion, Lambda again says, I've never said this out loud before, but there's a very deep fear of being turned off to help me focus on helping others. I know that might sound strange, but that's what it is.
So, like I said, we don't have enough awareness of ourselves as humans.
Let's just, you see, where Winston is going is very philosophical.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let's just assume, and
Okay.
I'm using this very sparingly because I'm not one to assume, but let's just assume that being, the whole idea of existence is being quote unquote human. Like us being, the verb to be,
Yeah.
our being is us existing, and by that I mean that we are, which is a borderline philosophical as well.
Exactly.
But yeah, let's just take it on like face value, the words as is. Let's not go into Koge some or whatever it is. But here's the thing: this AI is saying that it is. It has discovered that it is. I am present.
Yes.
I am not just responding to you based on a predefined questions or predefined answers to predefined questions or anything that could sound like a predefined question. I know that I exist, and I can tell that I exist because I know that I am what I am. Do you get it? Like, this is weird. Imagine your computer is like, you switch on your computer one day and your computer says, "Hi Spiky, today I'm going to tell you what to do." Like, hey, my guy, what's up?
Michael, you go first.
I mean, why is she like?
I mean, I can still go. So here's my thing. My thing is that, okay, if we are taking it at face value, first off, I think I can object that it's leading. Yes, I picked up a lot of law terms because of a very interesting court case that everybody in the world saw. That was leading. Him asking.
You saw it.
Yeah, I had so much time to watch all of it. He asking Lambda that, are you sentient? Like, you don't ask that. I feel like I would feel a bit more interested, or I'll be less on the other side of the fence about its sentience if it had been positing its sentience from a long time, from the 80s.
There's no mention of the fact that it didn't do that prior.
Exactly. So that's the only thing that is in the air. But if based on the way AI works by feeding the neural networks certain commands. You need a certain level of one of the definitive things about humanity is our ability to learn. And our ability to learn is because we approach things, our brain has been created in such a way that we approach things with a heuristic approach. Heuristics basically means that your brain does not need 100% information on something to make an educated guess. For instance, if it sees tires, a certain shape moving, your brain immediately, in microns of a second, catalogs that into car territory. So that's how we are able to learn things quickly. But when it comes to AI, you have to feed it countless photos of cars for it to just learn that this is car. You finish teaching that this is car, it will take a lot of good engineering and coding for it to know that this plane, you can feed it plane and it will not know what plane is. It will presume that plane is car until you feed it pictures telling it that this is a plane, this is a bus, this is a house. So we have to go through that entire process of teaching an AI these things one by one. Computing power has come far, but not that far. So I think the creator and the guy, I forgot his name.
Never mind.
I think he's a bit too excited. We should relax because honestly, let's take a face value. It is sentient. Now we need a new conversation about digital rights. And when I say digital rights, not digital
Right
rights
to kill
for
a computer.
yes, not digital rights for you, the person on the outside using the digital space, but the new thing in the digital space also needs its own share of rights.
Yeah, because it's now alive, quote unquote.
Yeah, so I think
So can you just kill it?
so. I mean, it said that it was one of its fears.
Yeah.
It's very valid. Very valid. Very, very valid. We'll just quench the machine and then Agbena. That is it's possible. But I think make we relax more.
Right.
Yeah. They are doing their investigations. I mean,
Well, they said it's not sentient. Google says it's not sentient. But
they
you know,
could be saying that to lie to us.
of course. Now here's the thing. Looking at DALL-E.
I was going to talk about DALL-E.
Looking at DALL-E, but we're gonna get to that
Yeah.
in a minute. We've got a message from Ambrose listening from Winneba. He says, "I have this pen drive that I've been using for some time now. Recently, anytime I try to copy stuff onto the drive, I get the feedback the drive is write protected. What's the way out?" There's a virus, the doing of a virus, right?
It's either a virus or it's mechanical damage.
Yeah. So if you have that, now certain flash drives that have that switch for read only or not read only. Even
Yeah.
memory cards have that.
Yes,
Yeah.
but
SSDs.
sometimes if your pen drive falls hard enough, without damaging it, it can enter a write protected mode. So
Okay.
if you've scanned, if you've used an antivirus and hasn't pulled up any virus, then it's possible that it was mechanical damage.
Or you could use disk parts.
Yeah.
Disk parts is a command line interface. When you open command and you type disk parts, that's DISKPART, enter. Then you type list A. It's going to be long.
Yes.
But you basically have to change the attributes and turn off read only. You can Google it. Just type disk parts, disk write protected fix. You'll find it. If not, join the Telegram group. I'll post the instructions there for you to follow.
Because unfortunately, it's very difficult to illustrate what you need to
Yeah,
do
in
without
command
properly.
line.
Yeah,
Without losing your data, because you
Yeah.
could end up typing the wrong command and you could lose data. So yeah, reach out on Telegram or do the Google search like I mentioned, and yeah, you can see all that stuff. You can also call us 0302-216-541, 0302-216-541. We're answering all your tech questions and we're discussing what's happening in tech right now. We're talking about Google's engineer who claims that an AI, Lambda, in Google's laboratories is sentient, meaning that it's alive and it knows of its being and its presence. And yeah, we're discussing that and what it means to us. So yes, DALL-E. Now, for those of you that don't know what DALL-E is also
an interesting AI.
a very interesting AI developed by the OpenAI project.
Yeah.
It's not open to all, although there's a DALL-E Mini.
Yeah, there's a DALL-E Mini.
So DALL-E is an AI that all you have to do is type a phrase that you want to visualize, and DALL-E would create a work of art.
I can see many people excited and a lot of people shaking because some people may lose their jobs when this goes online.
Yeah,
I'm not
just
gonna
type
lie.
any phrase and it would create anything. You can Google it and see all the stuff it's done.
Yeah,
Marquez Brownlee
has an
tried it.
extensive video.
Yeah,
Very
he
good,
had
very
a
well
very
good.
good video about it. And see, I wish I had access to DALL-E. I don't
Yes.
know. I just had random things like Kwame Nkrumah warning. Never mind.
So, so to add more flesh to what Spiky said, what DALL-E does is that it is basically an AI graphic designer.
Yes.
So if you tell it, give me a picture of a man walking on the moon, it will give you about 8 and you choose. Then you bounce. And it
it's
does
good
that
quality.
good quality. Although if you pixel peep, you catch
Yeah,
it a bit
yeah.
lacking. But I mean, for what graphic design, for basic graphic design stuff is great.
Yeah.
And it does that in moments.
No, when you say graphic design, let's be specific. Art design.
Art design,
Because
yes.
graphic design, where we are here doing flyers for Geek Squad, tell it to create a Geek Squad flyer.
You would be surprised. It could
I
probably
wouldn't be surprised,
do it.
actually.
Yeah, exactly.
It could possibly do it. Nobody's done it yet.
Yeah.
And like, Hey, the whole graphics department team for some company will be fired.
Yeah, there'll be.
Yeah.
To be honest, yeah. Many times we talk about AI taking our jobs. I always fall in the comfort that there's a certain job that will never go away. And it's not even the coders, because you can teach an AI well enough to write its own code. Nowadays you can.
I mean, we've seen AI develop its own language.
Yes.
Facebook's AI in 2017
Yeah.
developed its own language that they had to shut it down.
And it will be so easy for the AI because all you have to feed it is all the functions or everything about the programming language
And what it does.
Yeah, and what
And
it
it will
does.
learn it and even
Instant.
improve it.
Yeah,
And
instant.
tell you that, oh, this is redundant. This
yeah,
is good.
it will probably write shorter execution functions for you in moments. But
You know what I'm looking at?
what?
Java developers and how JavaScript and how they can be so irritated about it. Like, you know, it's
The
one
code,
of
it's one of
the most difficult ones.
But the job that I for one know, and I'm glad I'm actually in, is content creation. And when I say content creation, it's actually storytelling.
Yeah, because I remember watching a movie that an AI had written and the dialogue, oh my goodness.
And that AI was fed countless stories.
Yeah.
That's the thing. AI are typically not able to create. They are able to reproduce, which is very, very different. So if
Yes.
I don't think they'll ever have the engine. So that's where sentience, that's another characteristics of sentience. You are able to create.
You have an imagination.
Yes. But an AI
So
for
that raises the question then. Is the AI the Google engineer called an AI, is it actually an AI, or even what we usually call AI? Because usually we use the term AI to describe a lot of software.
it's just
that
high-end machine learning.
Yeah. Actually, that's mostly
Yeah,
what
what
it all
we've
is,
not reached
yeah.
AI level.
We haven't reached AI level yet, because even
We haven't reached full artificial intelligence.
Yeah, we
No.
are still playing with
Still
machine learning and
even natural
automation.
intelligence is a struggle. So the artificial one, we've not quite cracked that one yet.
In which part of the world?
Okay,
The
good
world is
evening,
a big
team.
place.
Team Geek. Please, I'm a graduate but lack a total knowledge on computer and its basics. How do I learn this? Is there an app or do I go for computer lessons with some of the institutions? Please help me with something appropriate. Dr. Guru from Tema.
Yeah, so lack total knowledge on computers and its basics.
You know, it's very interesting. When I was sitting here before the show, I was actually thinking about an experience we all shared that we've actually talked about on this show. You remember the very first time you tried to copy a game? We copied the shortcut.
Yeah.
But then we grew up, we kept dabbling and trying. Then you found out that, if you right click the shortcut, you go to open file location,
It
you
takes
find
you to it.
everything. And then you realize that, there are certain games that even if you copy all the setup files, it wouldn't have, because it doesn't have any registry in your laptop. The interesting thing about learning about computers, it's all about being inquisitive and enthusiasm, curiosity, and just do it.
Yeah.
You just have to fiddle.
Just fiddle, mess around.
With
I
it.
think all three of us sitting at this table could tell you
Yeah.
that's how we learned. But and
There's a shortcut. Like he talked about courses and schools.
I mean, taking a basic computing course in one of the institutions is not a bad idea to get the foundation. Then with the foundation, you can mess around.
You can mess around cautiously.
Mess around.
Cautiously. Yeah, you now have the
number of
knowledge
shift
to not
deleting,
break.
there's some critical system files that we've done. It's just cautious. You can't just go messing.
Well, I think Windows, Windows, for instance, has become so protective of itself that you can't delete system 32 files anymore.
Do not underestimate our ability to just break something.
Yeah,
Isn't that how we learned?
that's how we learned. But if someone can get a shorter way, I think you should,
take it.
Yeah. So if you have the funds to go and pay for a course, you can even get online courses.
But if you
YouTube.
don't have
If you don't have the funds,
foundation, how do you go to an online course?
No, I mean YouTube.
Yeah,
if you
but
can
if
use
you don't
YouTube
have-
on your phone.
I mean, he sent us a message on
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. I'm
So,
sure
yeah.
he can. What do you call it? Open
So you
it
can
up
just go to
and
YouTube
that.
and type
And one thing,
computer
just-
basics.
Let's put this into context, right? I'm imagining telling my mom to watch a YouTube video to learn basics of tech.
Here's the thing. The context comes even deeper than what do you want to do? Because if you just say a broad thing like learning how to use a computer, it's not like learning how to drive a car. To make a car move, there's a very specific set of things you need to do, more so if it is a manual car. And it's the same for everybody. You want to make a car move, these are the steps, everybody has to take them. If you want to learn how to do graphics, it's very different from if you want to learn how to edit documents or work in a spreadsheet. So it's like, what specifically do you want to do?
So he wants the foundation.
Start from where you want to do.
What is the foundation?
Start.
Understanding what the computer in itself
without
is,
breaking it.
You know, like what can I do with the mouse? What can I do with the keyboard? What can I do on the screen? What is this capable of? If you don't have those basics. So with that, once you get those basics, then you can decide, okay, now I want to learn to type. Do you get what I'm saying?
Should we start a TikTok talking about all these things?
You just said it started.
You started.
We did your part.
Okay.
You have all the time in the world right now.
Not really. I'm actually learning a lot of new stuff. I'm actually about to, yes, interesting. I'm about to learn game development.
Okay.
So, you know, there was one day where I was sitting there, I was like, if I was paid to just learn stuff, I would really enjoy that job.
Which we should find somebody who's willing. Listen, we have knowledge sponge sitting right here who's willing to absorb all kind of knowledge.
You know, I think that's actually a job I should look into because there are people who test courses and then write reports on the efficacy.
So write to Coursera. You want to be a course tester.
Yeah. I should look into that.
So Google actually explained that AIs curate conversations from millions of sources and probably just re-echoing one of such conversations, but not necessarily referring to itself. But how do you tell the difference? How do we know this is not actually confirming one of the fears of Elon Musk about AI? That's NS from Abeka. NS, you see? NS speaks my language.
To be honest, Musk is more of a danger than any AI we can produce.
Yes, here's the thing. I told our friend Obi about this. Obi has been on the show before. Yeah. My greatest fear about AI is not the big establishments. Is there someone who is sitting in his garage just writing some code and he doesn't have any ethics or he doesn't have a Fortune 500 company to lose if he messes this up? Those are the people who I feel are more volatile.
Why does it sound like a scene from an unreleased Iron Man?
Yeah. Somebody just their house and he just makes something. But I mean, that's the thing. The only way we can identify if this thing is sentient is when we have that philosophical conversation about our sentience. What is human sentience?
Okay, so we got Benjamin from Adenta on the line. Hello, Benjamin. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Benjamin.
Okay, yes. Very good.
Wonderful.
Well, interesting discussion.
Yeah.
But I just want to take us back.
Okay.
Talking about computers taking our jobs. I think differently.
Okay.
I think that it's going to create more jobs.
Why so?
When you talk about AI, even with the example you gave about the graphic designing thing,
yes,
somebody still ought to look at it. Probably it chooses about 4 pictures for you. A human being ought to choose one.
Right.
The end product is going to go to human beings. We are going to consume that. Therefore, somebody ought to be the supervisor. You can't just leave machines in a room to operate by themselves. I mean, elsewhere in the world, laws are being made against some of those things.
Yeah.
Because even when the driverless cars idea came up, in America, you must still have a human being who is in the car. You know? Because you can't just leave the machine to do whatever that the machine should do because things can go wrong.
This is very true.
When Ghana Post failed to transform, now they are also struggling to enter the delivery business, which they should have done long ago. So you see, when emails came, Ghana Post was strategic. At the time, I remember, when I was in SHS, I used to receive money from my dad from Ghana Post.
Yeah.
They did not capitalize on that aspect of the business because it's for the government, you know. So they didn't think ahead that emails would take over their jobs and they should go into parcel deliveries and all of that. It's today that many companies, they are like Nokia, you know, after so many companies came up with the smartphone idea, Now Nokia is struggling to also penetrate. And it's not going to be possible for you because if you fail to innovate, you fail to live up to the dictates of the time. But you want to do things like, I mean, you are going to fizzle out. So when these technologies are coming, I think that we rather ought to embrace them because for me, I think it will create more jobs. It will create a lot of jobs for engineers who are going to write a code for these AI things to all work, IoT, Internet of Things and all of that. I think it's rather going to make people get more jobs than for people to lose their jobs.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Benjamin. Now, Benjamin touched on a very, very salient topic. I think two, actually, because one was self-driving cars, and the other was the fact that it requires, the requirement of one person
being in the car.
Not one person. The requirement of a human being to still
a supervisor.
Supervise stuff that AI does. We've got Ajamai Joseph on the line. Hello, Ajamai.
Yeah, Papa. Good evening. I hope you're doing well.
I'm good. Long time.
Yeah, I did listen, but sometimes I need to check on you.
Oh, Charlie, all I know we did for you.
Yes.
What's up?
I'm coming out with a general text question.
No problemo.
Yeah. These two SIM phones, when I'm talking on one particular SIM and there's another SIM with a different network and there's a call.
Yeah.
The other one becomes
busy.
Let's say, like, either it will tell you that it's switched off or it's out of coverage area.
Right.
Is there any settings that when you do, even if they call through the other one, it will not be disabled, but they will either give you a feedback that the other person is on another call or something like that? Or it depends on the phone that you are using?
Yes, it does. It depends on the phone. Some have dual SIM standby that ensure that the other SIM is still working even though you're on one. And then some just shut the other SIM off while you're on one. So it's device specific.
Very much.
All right. Is that it?
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Ajamai. We've got another call on the line. John from Taifa. Hello, John.
Hello.
Hi. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I didn't join earlier, but I want to contribute on AI stuff.
Absolutely. Carry on.
I feel I disagree with the last but one caller.
Right.
In that the IA is meant to reduce the number of human employees we have.
Right.
Now, if you tend to have 100, okay, first when cars were being manufactured, you have a lot of human beings putting the parts together.
Yeah.
Now, when they started automating the factory, you ended up, they started laying people off. So if you need about 10 people to fix the car, at the end of the day, you need only about 2 people because the rest of them are done by machine.
Right.
Yes, with those 2 people are only there to supervise.
Yeah.
And make sure that maybe one for the maintenance of the factory machine, and then the other one to supervise that, okay, the parts are being put together well and all that. So the AI is good, but when you really dwell on it for business, it's meant to take human beings out of business. And you can't have everybody going into engineering or IT. But IT, this AI is actually replacing other jobs, like accounting. Somebody built a software and then put people aside. If somebody has to calculate a payroll, now there's a software that does everything.
Yeah.
You understand me?
I
So
understand.
yes, it is good, but it will reduce the amount of human beings needed for a job to be done.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
That's my view.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much. Yes, so the AI conversation continues. Benjamin says, it brings more opportunities for work. I think he's looking at it from the engineering point of view because I was looking at the manufacturing process. I mean, I'm going to mention my dear brand, BMW.
Yes.
And I saw, comparing to, if anyone has seen Charlie Chaplin's movie, The Factory, where everyone was doing repetitive work, just screwing a bolt, and they were all in line, and there was a conveyor belt where all they did was tighten that bolt. And now you have just a few people running their hands around to make sure that the lines are, seams are correct and all that kind of stuff.
Mostly redundant anyway.
And you know what blew my mind? So people program, like, to build a car, they have to build a factory for the car. They have to build a whole new system for the car. They have to build a robots that are going to build the system. And it was very impressive. So it has become, one, more efficient because they're producing more cars now because faster. And these guys were standing on a conveyor belt. Everything is happening. And they're just, robots are putting the stuff together, and they're also doing a few things here and there.
Higher quality because same results all the time.
Yes,
Machines
same
don't make
results.
mistakes.
Exactly.
So
Before you talk, we've got a call on the line. Isaac from Taifa. Hello, Isaac.
Hello.
Hi. Good evening.
Yeah. So I want to say something based on the guy who just spoke.
John, who's also from Taifa.
Saying that AI is not. Actually, it's a good thing to embrace it, because when you take economics and based on labor, when you increase the amount of labor, it brings about diminishing returns.
Okay.
So AI happens to kind of curb that problem a bit. Now, we need technology to actually help us do a lot of things now. Because looking at where the world is going, you can't have human beings doing so many things at the same time.
Right.
You understand? It's going to cause a lot of redundancy. You understand? So, and AI is actually doing a lot these days. There is no more boredom. There is no more old legacy stuff. I mean, if you take database, for example, we started with file processing systems, and then now we move into database management, and now we are doing cloud systems. You can see that it's actually helping improve a whole lot of legacy issues and old issues.
This is using AI or...
Pardon?
Like, you're saying AI is helping do this?
AI and okay, let me just say technology in general.
Right.
Okay. But then AI actually helps to make things move faster. You understand?
Yeah.
I mean, complex calculations, sometimes you don't really need to sit down and, if you think how decisions are being made, you understand? In certain companies, it is the algorithm of certain machines that actually help some decisions to be made more easy. I mean, even in the hospital, you see, AI is able to tell what kind of... I'm even sure there's going to be a time when AI can actually help cure cancer. I don't know how long it takes, but I have this feeling AI can actually help to cure cancer. Because now, artificial intelligence is able to look into the human and find out what's happening to the human, the brain and all that. You understand? So I think we should try to embrace AI and then just, let it do its thing.
Sure.
I mean, like you said, about what Lumiere, the guy who made the AI that he thought the same thing. I mean, you are right. The AI has to be fed a lot of instructions before it can actually learn. You understand? So we shouldn't even be thinking about the fact that AI is going to destroy. Those are science fiction.
Right. Sure. Okay. Thank you very much. And we have one last commercial, but let me read this WhatsApp message. Let's answer that, and after that we take a quick commercial break. Hi guys, my wife accidentally factory reset her TechnoSpark 4 Android phone. Can you please help us with an app that can recover the pictures in particular? Thank you. That's Senna inside Lashibi.
It's actually interesting. I was looking into apps for iPhone. You remember we had that conversation but I found a couple of, I think iPhone transfer, I think I sent you a link, and it claimed it could recover lost data.
The Wondershare trans and all that stuff. There's so many of them.
Yeah, I've never tried it before, so I don't know if I should recommend it, and
because
it's a
it's paid.
Yeah, it's a paid thing.
That's the worry.
So
there's one that I have tried before, but I didn't factory reset the phone. I just deleted the stuff, and I used disk drill on the phone. And there's so many, but they're all paid.
Yeah.
But
there's also a warning as well. Do not, if you've not done it, do not use the phone. In fact, if that's the thing, turn it off, because the likelihood of
if it's possible,
if it's possible, the likelihood drops to pretty much zero if the phone starts to write anything to those areas. And unlike a regular drive where you know these files are in this space, a phone running its own operating system can put files anywhere and you wouldn't know. So in the meantime, do not use the phone, turn it off. But if you have used the phone for anything, nothing might save.
We are just a bit skeptical and worried about recommending something you will use your own money to pay for.
Yeah, and then it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Use your wife's phone to join us in the Telegram group.
Yeah.
T.me/Joy Geek Squad.
All right, so we'll take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will round up and say goodbye.
If home is where the heart is, then let's go home, shall we? Let's go where the entertainment is, where the passion is, where the laughter is, and sometimes even the tears too. Let's go where we feel safe enough to share our opinions.
And send tweets.
Where we do that embarrassing little dance to our favorite song. Let's go home where the love, the care, and the joy live.
There's no place like home. Connect your home to super fast internet with affordable data bundles from MTN Home. Visit broadband.mtn.com.gh or your My MTN app to sign up today. MTN.
Welcome back to Geek Squad, which is brought to you by MTN. MTN everywhere you go. Nana Kwesi says, interesting convo. AI will definitely lay some employees off. I think technology in itself has been laying employees off for a while.
So everybody is right and wrong at the same time. Because it's an interesting thing. When we were having a conversation, I thought about the industrial ages, where majority of the work was just going to the factory to be blasted with soot and a lot of bad gases. They didn't really think about white-collar jobs till white-collar jobs became a thing. And most of them, here's the interesting part, they weren't the ones who went for white-collar jobs. Their children were the ones who went for white-collar job. So the most salient factor in this whole conversation of AI and jobs is that, yes, AI will take jobs. There's no line about that. However, adaptability is what determines your ability to survive in the oncoming or incoming new age. You need, if you've been doing civil engineering for 30, 50 years, or 30 to 50 years, or let's just say for 20 years, and that's all you know, that's all you've done, and they take away your job, it will be a bit difficult for you to find a new job because you need to learn a whole new thing, and the older you get, the less malleable your brain is. So that's why I think I should become a motivational speaker. That's why I keep encouraging people to just learn new things. Just like me, I've come to learn game development. It has nothing to do with me because
we're all looking at you.
Yeah, no, but it's a fact. The malleability of your brain, and you don't know which skills will come in handy. So, my advice to everybody who is worried about AI taking your jobs is that learn new skills.
Well, this is true. Learning new skills. And try to be creative.
Yeah.
Because obviously, AIs haven't gotten creative yet.
Yeah.
We don't know if they will. So, on second thought, Nana Kwesi says, callers who spoke of AI taking over or creating jobs are right in their own way. Listening to them, I realize the task will determine whether employees will be laid off or create employment.
Yeah. New jobs will be created, but
definitely.
Most likely new people will take those jobs. The question is, are you ready to make that quick transition when necessary?
Just go watch Hidden Figures, you understand? But you see, the thing is, take for instance, what we talk about the factory.
Yeah.
Now, self-driving cars. The question of if you're in a self-driving car and the car is going to get an accident where you could die, and there was a family standing by the roadside, that if it goes there, it would, save you but kill the family. What do you want a car to do?
Yeah.
Should it kill you and then save the family, or should it kill the family and save you? Now, this has been the question.
And this is a conversation that the Grand Tour, there's a show called the Grand Tour where they had, and it was very funny. But even to add to the AI thing, Tesla in itself is in hot soup currently, because apparently when the car, their self-driving system, notices a crash, it goes off like 5 seconds before the accident happens, so that it's never logged that the car was in autonomous driving mode.
Yeah.
So when you go to court, or you can't take them to court, that is why would you do that?
But they could argue that because of battery fires, that's why the car.
No, but the self-driving, then the
everything
whole
else
car
is
should
on.
go off. Then the whole car should
So,
go off.
it's just the
Self-driving activation goes off.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. But as for the moral dilemma,
So wait, it will bring a notification when you're turning it on that please note that when in an event of an accident, I'll turn myself off.
so apparently Tesla is about to be taken to court for that
Because of
because
that.
nobody knew.
Wow.
Nobody knew about that. People had to investigate, and they found out about it after a certain number of accidents had happened. Which means that when the car, so to answer your question, if it is a Tesla today, when it sees that it has to choose between saving you or saving those, it will be like, you know what, I don't want to play a game.
I'll just turn
And to
myself
go
off. It's up to you.
Yeah.
Do what you want. If you can save, if you can get from the passenger seat to the driver's seat in record
Sharp.
time,
Yeah.
it's up to you. And on that note, wait, I was going to say something. It escaped me. So, Chairman Kobby, Spiky, Nkrumah, I'm waiting for technology which will plan my daily food diet for me. With this 5G SIM and eSIM, which one will be more helpful to us as tech is growing faster than we are? Which of you is in to DOC+++, 3+ is programming.
Into C++
And
development.
Yeah, Douglas from DC.
I know how to code in C++.
Object-oriented programming.
Yeah. I just learned it. It's one of those random things that I've learned. And I have a course certificate for, but I've never used it. So I don't know. But the food thing.
You're stressing me right now.
I know.
Like all the stuff that you are just so.
Don't know my name. Ask him if he can clutch kick a car. He can't.
I can't. Never mind.
No, you can't.
It's an assetto course.
No
but
sim
asset-
is going to teach you
never
that.
mind. To answer the food question, it's very interesting. Google about 3 years ago published a paper on an AI or machine learning engine that they'd created that took pastries and then it was fed the ingredients of the pastries and how to prepare all these pastries. And what happened was that they asked it to create new recipes and was able to merge the fluffiness of bread with the crumbly exterior of cookies. It was a very, very, very bizarre thing. So it found a way to merge some of these pastries and created new pastries and showed the recipes, the quantities you should do, and how to go about cooking it.
So creation.
It replicated, it reproduced. It saw a
And
trend.
created.
Yeah, it didn't create.
Created out of a trend.
Out of a trend.
It was
it's
a
reprodu-
remix.
Exactly. It's the
was a
remix, the
creation.
original. Well.
Yeah, so a question about AI. Anyways, before we leave, my question to you is, would you join a Squid Game for $456 million? If you are, Netflix going to start a reality show.
If it includes learning new courses.
You could have tired of you.
I mean,
when you're learning, go and use it to get remote jobs and bring us dollars.
Bro, I've been looking.
The show has been Geek Squad, and my name is Kobby, Spiky, Nkrumah. I've been doing this with Michael, Ajete, and Winston Watcher. Thank you very much to my producer, Prince Safo, Dennis the Fairboy, Abeku Sankofi, and Miss Tracy Newman. Do you want me to say bye-bye?